Hello, welcome to another edition of Travelogue here on Sparks 1524. I'm Nathaniel Miller. Located in downtown Chattanooga, the Tennessee Aquarium occupies two buildings, the River Journey and the Ocean Journey. Now, there's not a right or wrong way to start. You can start in either building, but the narrative that the aquarium has set up is that of a drop of water starting high up in the Appalachian Mountains, moving down through various waterways, such as the Tennessee River and others, into the Gulf of Mexico. These buildings, this aquarium is actually, in my opinion, a magnificent use of space because, unlike, say, the Virginia Aquarium in Virginia Beach, which has this sprawling campus, the Tennessee Aquarium is located in the middle of downtown Chattanooga. It goes up. Both buildings are masters of, as I just said, the use of space. Once you are admitted in both buildings, you'll take an escalator or a series of escalators, or if you need it, an elevator to the top floor, and then cycle and circle your way slowly down through all the exhibits. Now, I started in the River Journey, so that's where we're going to start. And after I headed up to the top, I came, of course, to the American River Otter in the Appalachian Grotto, or Appalachian Cove, excuse me. Basically, you're in a simulated Appalachian setting, but there are other, and you'll get to see all kinds of life up there, from birds to American river otters. Now, the last time I was there, the otters were taking a nap in the warm sun, but if you're lucky, they'll be frolicking and playing and doing the things that otters do. Once you leave the otters, you'll start moving through other exhibits. Now, the focus of the Tennessee Aquarium is, like I said, on the life cycle of water and aquatic life in North America through North America to the Gulf of Mexico, but they do educate you on aquatic life around the world. And note, I'm saying aquatic life, not marine life, because this is not solely focused on the oceans. As you head down and make that big spiral inside the River Journey building, you'll come to exhibits such as Rivers of the World. You'll see exhibits on the Congo River in Africa. You will see exhibits on rivers deep in inland China. One of my favorite exhibits there was a little set of amphibians. First glance, they look like eels or maybe even snakes, but they're actually amphibians, just like toads and frogs. They've just evolved in a very unique way. Now, one of the River Pavilion's the centerpiece of the River Pavilion is literally the center of the building. The building it's not hollow per se, but there's this huge multi-story atrium in the center of the building, and it's kept in darkness. There's no skylight overhead. This atrium has two enormous tanks on either side, featuring the river giants. These are gigantic freshwater creatures from around the world. We usually think of gigantic sea creatures being only out in the deep ocean, the giant squid, whales, the possible giant octopus. But the rivers of the world provide habitat to some enormous creatures themselves. In the River Giants exhibit, you'll see things such as 9-foot-long members of the shark catfish family, and that's the name of the family, shark catfish. Like I said, these things can get up to 9 feet long and weigh well over 300 pounds. I think probably the most popular of the animals in the River Giants are the whiprays from Australia. These giant whiprays can reach up to 3 feet in diameter. Now, you're looking at these creatures, both great and small, through aquarium glass. The thicker the glass to support the aquarium, the more it magnifies everything. Even thin glass will magnify light coming through it. The thick glass that has to be used to support the weight of the water in these habitats makes these creatures seem even bigger than they are. The whip ray will look 5, maybe 6 feet in diameter. It's 3 feet in diameter, but think about that. A 3-foot wide stingray is huge. And these things live in freshwater rivers around the world. Part of what makes this fun, makes that building unique, is that there are elevators if you need them, but once you start down in the River Journey building, you spiral, and it's built with these ramps, so you never take stairs. You are literally you take these ramps to gently walk down through all the exhibits, which cycles you several times through the atrium, where you get to view river giants from several different levels. You start up at the top and see it several times till you're on the ground floor level with these creatures. This gives a very unique view of the creatures. Plus, it's a lot of fun to look down and watch people watching them, especially little kids that just blow their mind nuts excited at these enormous pieces of aquatic life. If you're really lucky, you'll also hit it at feeding time when divers will go into these tanks and feed these creatures. That's a pretty unique thing to watch. Once you're done with the River Journey building, head over next door to Ocean Journey. This will take you through literally the oceans, but specifically the featured exhibit is Flower Garden Marine Sanctuary in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the Flower Garden Marine Sanctuary exists because of seamounts and salt domes. Basically, these uplifted areas provide a habitat for coral to anchor on and start building reefs because it's close enough to the surface that sunlight can provide sustenance for the coral. Of course, the coral grows and attracts other marine life, which eats the coral, which further attracts more marine life, which eats the marine life, eating the coral. Thus, these magnificent ecosystems are created, and this is recreated in the Secret Reef exhibit in the Ocean Journeys building. But that's not the only exhibit. Ocean Journeys has a wonderful exhibit where you see invertebrates. You have tanks of jellyfish where you can literally walk through the tanks and have them surrounding you. And of course, these jellyfish are lit up with artificial lights, but making them glow makes them very easy to see, but it's also a very beautiful sight to see. They feature octopus, Japanese spider crabs, which are enormous crabs with legs. Well, the legs look like they could be half as long as I am, and I'm 6 feet tall, 6'4". The one problem with the aquarium, and this is a drawback to all aquariums, is noise. The kind of materials an aquarium has to be built out of, glass, steel, plastic, resin, reflect sound. They don't absorb it. So if you're in the aquarium with a group of people, especially if you have kids squealing and shouting in delight and surprise, the noise can be a bit overwhelming. If you suffer from noise sensitivity, which I actually do, and a lot of veterans do after things that we've been through and just things we were exposed to in the military, a simple solution is just to bring earplugs, either a little pair of foamy plugs or rubber plugs, but just something you can put in that will attenuate that excessive noise level, allowing you to concentrate on the exhibits and even more easily talk to the people around you. Ocean Journeys will take you mainly to the Gulf of Mexico, but it will expose you to ocean creatures around the world, just like the River Journeys. So while the Tennessee Aquarium does make the focus of its narrative the journey of a water drop from the high Appalachians into the Gulf of Mexico, they're not just myopically focused on North America. You will get a worldwide education. It is an amazing journey and definitely well worth spending an afternoon if you're in Chattanooga. Now, you buy your tickets online at the aquarium website, which is linked below in the description. You can buy a ticket just to tour the aquarium, which is what I did, or you can also include an IMAX show. And I currently don't know what's showing on IMAX, but check out their website and you'll find out. One note of warning when you buy your tickets. These tickets are for timed entries. If your ticket says a 2 p.m. entry, they're not going to let you in at noon. So make sure you know what time you're buying the ticket for. This allows the aquarium to keep a steady flow of visitors coming through without a major glut of people hitting all at once. Stop the presses. Hold the phones, hold the forts, and hold on to your hats. We have breaking news here on Sparks 1524. I'm still Nathaniel Miller. I forgot to mention the Tennessee Aquarium's Butterfly Garden. When you go to the Ocean's Journey building and you head up to the top floor, you'll come to the Stingray petting tank. And once you're done with that, you have the option to go into an indoor butterfly garden. Now, this garden is warmed by sun coming through the skylights and provides a beautiful little habitat for numerous butterflies such as monarchs, postmen, blue morphos, Doris, and others. One word of caution, don't go reaching out for the butterflies. These are delicate insects, and there are also a number of volunteers manning the garden who will prevent you from doing so. Just saying. But if you're lucky, these butterflies might come and land on you. Aside from being a very peaceful, just fun little part of the the aquarium, this garden does showcase another part of the life cycle of water and how it supports the habitats around us. The water clearly supports the plant life that these butterflies depend on. It's a unique part of the story we really don't think about a lot, but it does fit right into the aquarium's wheelhouse, telling the story of the life cycle of water. Thank you for your attention, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled travelogue here on Sparks 1524. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of the Tennessee Aquarium. It is one of my favorite aquariums, right up there with the Virginia Aquarium in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and the Florida Aquarium down here in, down in Tampa. I also have a soft spot for the Seattle Aquarium, which is, surprisingly enough, located in Seattle, Washington. If you're interested in visiting the Tennessee Aquarium, as I've said earlier, their website is linked down below in the description. Even if you just want to explore online, the website is set up pretty well and you'll learn a lot about a lot of unique species. If you'd like to read more about my adventures at the Tennessee Aquarium, my written column is also linked below in the description. Please check it out. If you enjoyed this video, and I would ask you to hit that little like button. Also, feel free to share it on social media, Facebook, email, whatever. Until we meet again here on Sparks 1524, I hope you have a great week, a great weekend. And remember, experience wonder, think independently, and always go and do great things.